Video requesting the Google OAuth permission for the following scopes for the Demandu application. We require these permissions because we want to be able to integrate Demandu with the different Google platforms available for integration, such as Google Sheets, Google Tasks, Google and Contacts, and Google Calendar. For the same, we will be demonstrating the integration process into the Demandu application. Now I am on the Demandu application and I can go to bot 4, which is my current bot. Here, as we can see, we already have a chat flow that is ready, or the sequence of messages that the user will see when they interact with the bot. First, it's a welcome, followed by three things. Number one, getting the name, the email, and the phone number. Once I have all three of these details, I will ask the user to pick an appointment. This is specifically for the Google Calendar integration. Lastly, when the chat is done, I will get a thanks name, which is the name that I entered in the second component, to indicate that the chat flow has successfully been completed. Now, to integrate the different Google permissions, I will click on third party apps integrations. Here we have all the integrations, including the ones from Google. I will go and forward now and integrate the permissions one by one. Firstly, with Google Calendar, I will click on connect once again and click on sign in. I will click on the yuvraj1@reliance.com account because that is the one that I want to connect. I will get that Google has not verified this app because the app is not published as of yet, which is why we're requesting the permission. So I will click on advanced and then I will go to this link. Here Google is asking me to give access to the following permissions, which is Yuvraj and this email address. I will click on continue. Then the app hasn't been verified and I want to give access to all three of these. I want to be able to view Google settings, view all the events in the calendar, and permanent events in the calendar. To learn more about any of the following permissions, I can click on the learn more icon, and these are all the permissions that we are asking for over here. Once I do so, I will click on that I want to give all three of these permissions, and when I have clicked on these check boxes, will this permissions be given, and I will click on continue. Once I do so, my Google Calendar will have been successfully integrated with the Demandu application. Here, now, whenever a user comes, I want them to get the message that Demandu appointment, which is the name of the appointment. The appointment description should be such as this, and let me add tested 28th Feb. Then I have the option to map certain questions. We need two important questions. Number one, the date and the time, which I will map via the slot booking. And then the email, which I will map via the email. Once I'm happy with these, and I do also want to include a meeting link, I will click on save. The mapping will have been done successfully. This is how Google Calendar will be integrated. Next, if I go to another integration like Google Contacts, I can click on connect. Click on connect once again, and I will click on sign in with Google. Again, because I want to sign in with the yuvraj1@reliance.com account, I will click over here, click on advanced, and go to the link. Here, since I'm signing back because I just signed in into Google Calendar, I will have already given some permissions and I will need to give other permissions. Like as an example, when I am allowing this following permission to be given to the Demandu OAuth app. Additionally, I have already given access to 6 of the different services. These are the 6 different services which I have given access to, which are viewing calendar all events, seeing or sharing or deleting calendar events using the Google Calendar, seeing all the personal information, seeing the Google account information, and associating with the Google. Once I'm happy with all of these permissions, I will click on continue. Once I click on continue, my app will have successfully integrated with Google Contacts as well. For Google Contacts, I have to enter the parameters, and more specifically I have to enter 3 parameters: the name, email, and the phone number. So I will add these 3 parameters. For name, they will get it via the name question. For the email, they will get it via the email question, and for the phone number, they will get it via the phone number question. Once I'm happy with these, I will click on save, and once I click on save, I will have the mapping has been done successfully. Now we have successfully showcased how these will be integrated with Google Contact. Next, we will go to another Google app. This Google app will be Google Sheets. I will click on connect with Google Sheets, and I will again have to sign in. I will click on sign in, following by choosing the account, seeing the app is unsafe, clicking on advanced, going to the link. When I go to the link, I will click on continue because I'm already given some permissions, and these are the other permissions that we need. We want to be able to see, edit, and delete only specific Google files We want to see all the Google spreadsheets, and we want to be able to see, create and delete these. Additionally, the app also has access to 3 of the previous services, including seeing my personal information, including the name and the profile picture, seeing the email address, and associating my personal info with Google. Once I'm happy with these, I will click on continue, and with this, the Google Sheets will have successfully been integrated. When the Google Sheet integration takes place, I will have to install and I have to make sure that 3 different things are configured. Firstly, the title of the Google Sheet. So let's do that. Name as Demandu Sheet, and let's do the month, which is Feb right now. Here I will then have to select the questions which I want to map. Suppose I want to map name with the name column, and I want to map the email with the email column. If I click on save, it will ask me to save it as a subsheet as well. So I will have to select the default subsheet which I want to save it as. I will click on save, and only when I get the updated successfully will I be confident that this has been updated successfully. Lastly, I have my last Google application, which is Google Tasks. I will click on Google Tasks, click on connect, and again I have asked to sign in using Google. Choosing the account, clicking on advance, going to the link. Here the Google application, I will click on continue over here. Here the app is not verified yet, and it's asking me permissions for these two, that is view tasks and edit, delete, organize permissions. It also wants access to 3 previous services, including these, which are the same as before, seeing my name information, associating my email address, and associating my personal information with Google. I will click on continue, and with this, my Google task is also be successfully integrated with the Demandu application. Now I have to configure all of the things that are needed for the Demandu application. More specifically, the Google task. I will have to first select the task list. So let's do custom development task list. I have to select the title. Let's do the name as title. And then I have to select the email address. Let's do that as part of the notes. I will click on save. And once I click on save, the mapping will have been done successfully. I can now go back and I can now install this chatbot anywhere to see how this particular thing will work. So let's copy the code for this particular chatbot, and then once I click on copy and I get the message that the code has been copied successfully, I will open a new incognito tab, and let's go to W3 Schools to install this bot. I will click on try by myself. I will replace the code and I will simply click on run. When I do so, my bot will have successfully been opened over here, and I will get the messages which were configured in the chat flow. It will firstly ask me for my name. Let's do my name. Let's put this as the name. It will ask me for an email address. Let's put this as the email address. And lastly, it will ask me for my phone number. So let's do this as the phone number. Once I do so, it will ask me to choose an appointment. Let's do the appointment for the 6th of March at the time of 11:30 p.m. That is the 6th of March at 11:30 a.m. Once I do so, I will get a message, thanks with the name, which is the name that I provided. So in short, I provided the name, email address, phone number, the date of appointment as the 6th of March, and the time being the 11:30 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. I can now close this, and now I can go to the different Google applications to see how that integration worked. Let's go to the applications one by one. Let's first go to Google Tasks. If we go on over to Google Tasks, then the name and the email address will have been added as the title and the notes in the Google Tasks application. If we go on to another application, let's say we are done with Google Tasks, so we can next go on to Google Contacts. When we go to Google Contacts, a contact will have been created with the same email address and phone number that I have entered, as can be seen over here. Next, let's go to Google Calendar. If we go to Google Calendar, we will be able to see that for the 6th of March at 11:30 to 11:45 a.m. we have a meeting, which is an appointment booked by Demandu, and this also includes tested 28th Feb, which was what we configured, and a meeting link is also present over here. Lastly, if we go on over to Google Sheets, here if we go to Google Sheets, we will see that the Demandu sheet Feb will have been created successfully, and in this sheet the only 2 things which will have been mapped is the name which we entered and the email address. So this is how we are going to be using the Demandu application, and more specifically all of these scopes for the Demandu application and why we require the same. The justification of these scopes have been further elaborated upon in the description present over here, and we have addressed all the points that were given over here in our response. Namely, we have showcased we'll be adding this demo link into OAuth flow, and we have clicked on the services to reveal the scopes that the application is asking for, namely all the hidden scopes behind the services hyperlink. And we will be adding all of these points in this particular email thread and responding to the same. Thank you.